Hello everyone, this is Lab 4 tutorial. I'm going to run through the lab fairly quickly to show you how to do it. Please also refer to the guide that I posted on Blackboard that's associated with the lab. What we want to do is create a map that looks like this on ArcGIS Online. You're going to have 3 layers. The first layer is going to be all women in a chosen state. Then women in a particular age group. In some cases, there won't be enough data to actually make the map if you choose older women. But you can try it if you like. And then the third layer will be birth rate, which is going to be a calculated layer between these two. Just an overview of the screen. You're going to be using this bar on the right and this bar on the left, and then this layers option here. To get to your menus, you click on this button here that has 3 lines. That allows you to look at your content that you've worked on already. You can get back to maps over here. So let's start from the beginning. So what you want to do is log in. When you log in, you'll come to the home page and then just click on map. You'll have a blank map to work with. So let's go ahead and just save it and name it to begin with. So I'm going to go over here on the left, save, and then save as. We're going to name it Lab 4 and then your initial, and save that. You can always go back and modify these things later. We want to add a specific layer that I talked about in your guide. To do that, you're going to click the Add button. My content should be Living Atlas. And then you can copy and paste the layer from the instructions. You're going to add that layer. This layer is provided to us by Living Atlas. Your layer is going to show up in the second button down here. So you click on that to see where it is. What we want to do now is return to your layers. Here it is. Here's the first one. We're going to rename it in a little while, but let's bring the other 2 in first. I'm going to add this again. Repeat the steps as before. Now I have the same layer on 3 times, and all 3 are turned on, but you can see by this little eyeball icon. Let's go ahead and turn the 2 of them off and just work with the top one. First, we're going to rename it. Click on this little ellipse, rename. This is going to be all women. The second one we're going to rename as your particular age group. You can decide what that is. Let's say as a test I'll just do 15 to 19. And in this third layer, this is going to be the birth rate, 5%. Starting with the top layer, I'm going to expand it. Click on county here. And you want to make sure that you're seeing counties on your general map. If you're not, you might need to scroll in or out so until you see all the counties in the United States. It's dynamic that way. Now you have to decide what state you want to highlight for your map. To do that, you're going to go on the right bar, click on filter right here, add an expression, and you're going to take the first, the top line, which is the attribute. In this case, it's going to be the state. Leave is the same, and then find the state you're looking for. In this case, I'm going to do Florida, and then save it. Now you're going to move to the state of Florida and center it on your map. We have not specified what this is yet. This is just something that the computer randomly threw at us. So what we need to do now is pick the right field. We're going to go to this styles option here on the right. We're going to change the field that the computer chose, click on it, and we're going to change that to all women. So we're going to just scroll down till you find that particular field. Here it is right there. Total women 15 to 50. And then again, the computer makes decisions for us, and sometimes we don't like those decisions. Like in this case, I want to use a shading map under counts and amounts here. Click on that. Not bad, but perhaps I want to have different colors associated with it. So I'm going to click on Style Options. And I have an option here to change the color scheme. Let me go with something a little softer. Let's try that one. One thing to be cautious of, if you're choosing dark top to bottom, you want to stick with that all the way through. If I choose then light top to bottom, it's going to reverse the data and it will give us a false impression. So you can flip the RAM color around to make that work. Just right there. Again, make them all consistent. And I might want to have more categories than it chose. I might want to use a different classification style. It's not bad because it does kind of distribute the data fairly well, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit here. So I'm going to classify the data using a different classification method. And this one, instead of natural breaks, I'm going to use quantile and see what happens. And then maybe if I change the number of categories, I'll get some better information. So yeah, you can play with this a little bit, decide what might work. Try different ones. Choose the one that you think most accurately displays the data based on what your interest is. So let's go ahead and keep it with quantile just to keep it consistent for now. And when you're done, just hit that button. And here's your first map. Now we're going to shut this one off so you can't see it. Turn the second one on. Minimize this one and maximize that one. Click on County again. We want to make sure that we pick the right field over here. So I'm going to click on that. This is going to be women 15 to 19. And look what I forgot to do. It's showing all of the United States. So I want to just show Florida. So I'm going to go back to my filter. Add an expression again. And tell the computer exactly what I want. If you make that mistake, this is why you want to do it first. The computer will just reassess and reanalyze data for you after you've done all that work. So you have to just do it again. Sometimes it's good to make mistakes so you learn from them. So under Style Options, I'm going to play around with it. See what I can find. Let's try that one. And let's classify it. You see this warning here? That's just an indication that there aren't enough data points to be able to use different classification techniques. So we're going to use what we have available here and leave it at the default. That's going to vary from place to place, state to state, and age group by age group. You'll have to play with it as you discover. For this last layer, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to work with two fields. And we're going to take the field that looks at the number of women 15 to 19 who have had a baby in the last 12 months and divided by the total number of women in that age group to give us a percentage of women who have been pregnant and had a baby in the last 12 months. The way we do that is we are going to choose the first field here, look for women 15 to 19 who have had a past birth in the last 12 months. Then we're going to choose our style option, which is going to be counts and amounts. You notice sometimes you have to click on that twice. And we're going to take the second field, which is the total number of women in that age group, and add it at this point. This is called normalizing the data. We have one field and we're dividing it by another field. This is how you, for example, would get density. You would take the number of people in a region and divide it by the area of the region. Same thing here. We're taking the number of 15 to 19-year-olds who've had births and divided by the total number of 15 to 19-year-olds. And you can see here it's expressing as a percent. And this is what the data looks like. You can see already we're having some interesting patterns develop here that look distinct from the ones earlier. You can look at the panhandle here. Definitely notice something interesting up there. Anyway, this is what you'll be looking at for your one-page report. You're going to be looking at the distinctiveness, the patterns, changes between each of the different layers, and think about what may account for any of those particularities that you see. What cultural factors, what economic factors may be at play here. And then hit done. And now you have to make sure you save it again. And then you want to share the map to organization. Then you can take this URL, this address, and you can paste it, copy and paste it into your little report on the top. Say this is the map so I can refer to it when I read your work. And then submit your one-page brief report on Blackboard under the assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know, and take care.